All right. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
A little presentation of yourself.
You want me to present myself? I'm Maria Ribas. I'm responsible for audience development at the Center for Contemporary Culture in Barcelona, within the Department of Communication and Marketing.
Great. Just to start, we want to ask a little bit what are your thoughts on culture? What do you think is culture?
I think there's many, shall we say, definitions of culture. What I have is a broad view of what culture is. I think culture is almost anything human beings have done outside the basic needs of what we have, so that if you play in the garden, that's culture, but also if you think science or any other things, that can be culture. But within my framework of work, culture is more, it has a more restrictive view, which is more what in English you would call the arts, broadly, but the arts.
Great, that would be the Arnoldian view of culture. So, regarding the public space of the Plaça de los Angeles,
Yes.
how do you think culture is developed, and what would be the interaction between all the street cultures? And afterwards we'll ask about the coexistence of the street cultures and the high culture.
If you mean street culture, the skateboarding, I guess that's one of it, or what is more visible at the Plaza de los Angeles. I think there's not much interaction between the cultural institutions, especially the MACBA that surrounds the Plaza de los Angeles, and the skaters that are there. I think there could be, but I'm not sure there is. They haven't done any project with the skaters. I know some of the skaters have asked for that, and there has been no sort of collaboration or interaction between them, because especially because skaters come and go. I'm not sure if all the skaters, I don't know if you know the people going there, but I'm not sure the skaters are always the same. So they're over, say, 1 year over to the other. So it's kind of difficult to do something together with a changing community. But the Plaza de los Angeles is much more than skaters. There's a lot going on in there, and there's many other cultures in the Raval or many other communities in the Raval that use the Plaza de los Angeles to meet or to do things, especially the small communities when it's the Ravals, which is a feast that we organize in November here in the neighborhood, or for the Fiesta Mayor of the Raval, which is in July. That square is also used.
Great, yeah. We want to avoid the monolithic view of street cultures as just skate. So
yeah, but that
yeah,
at that square it's more visible.
So after this, we want to ask whether you think the Plaza de los Angeles is a crucial point for culture in Barcelona or not.
Barcelona is very big, has many other squares other than that one. Not crucial. I mean, it's one of the cultural places to go because of the museum that's there, and because we are here, and because of the but not only in culture, shall we say. I mean, it's used, but in specific times by the neighborhood as a cultural center, but not always.
Great, and we've talked a little bit about the cultural coexistence, how there is a lack of joint projects. But about the institutions, what do you think are the views of how do they coexist? What do you think are the views of the institution on the street cultures?
You mean the cultural institutions around the neighborhood?
I would say
Or
maybe focused in MACBA, yeah.
well, we are the CCCB.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The MACBA, you will have to ask them what is there. They try. I know at the MACBA there's been not, but some exhibitions have integrated street culture within the exhibitions, but not much, as we have also done that, but more on events or festivals other than exhibitions. Some exhibitions we have integrated also street culture within the exhibition, but especially with events. I'm not sure we have, there's no sort of official position of the cultural institutions around street culture. I mean, it's something that's happened, and if it goes well to talk about it, then we incorporate as any other type of culture or arts or other things that we can talk about. If it's part of the project that we're doing, it gets incorporated. If not, it's there.
So you said both CCCB and MACBA both collaborated with kind of a street culture, right?
No, I said that not collaborated.
But somehow integrated.
But somehow integrated the street culture.
That's a very important.
In some exhibitions, but not many. No.
That's a very important point for us, because some people may conceive museums as institutionalized art and street culture belonging to public space, and it is also very interesting to observe how also institutionalized museums and cultural spaces also integrate this popular culture within their exhibitions.
I mean, here at the center we have a very wide concept of what is culture, what are the arts, so we integrate almost anything in our exhibitions, so street culture can be one of them. At the MACBA it has been integrated because the artists, whoever artists they were exhibiting would integrate that, but not because of the street culture, but because of the artists. So, yeah. Or the subject that we're talking about. I don't remember the exhibition, but I remember one that was some graffitis and some things done in the. We did once years ago, at the beginning of the CCCB and the MACBA, a project that was called the City of Words, La Ciudad de las Palabras. And that was a project that was done with a collectivity that has their place here next to the MACBA, which is called Almacén. It's the lady is called Macarena, I don't remember the surname. And she did the project for the MACBA first, and then with us also, about putting artists in the streets in the Raval and doing projects in the streets. So it was street art. And there's still, some of them are still up. If you go next to the MACBA, there's some arrows going up and down. That was one of the projects. Also in some of the streets, you see sometimes a work of art that's there. That was from years ago. It was, I don't know, almost 20 years ago already. And that was one of the projects we did of street art with the MACBA and us, with that collectivity.
Great.
And I also have a question. Regarding this issue you have been commenting on with this artist working in the streets, you said in the beginning of MACBA. Normally we conceive the street culture as belonging to the streets because it's carried through in the streets, and also art, pieces of art, because they are gathered in museums and so on. But is there any definition or any element which is crucial for defining what is a street culture and what is high culture? Is there anything that defines this division?
don't think so. I mean, before opera was sung in the streets or in small theaters, or I mean, it started somewhere else, so it wasn't high culture. It became high culture because it was the special things they did, or theater. Theater was also street culture. I mean, anybody can do, and still is. I mean, anybody can do theater in the streets, but there's some theater that is happening in a formal theater that needs money, that needs investment, that needs to get ticketing. So, and we call that high culture. But
Because it's getting
where is it's institutionalized, that's right, but just that.
Yeah.
Not because it's more difficult or different than other types of culture.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been such a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
and thank you.